Okay, good afternoon and welcome to the FGCU live stream here with a doubleheader against Indian River State College. I'm Ariel Fears, your commentator for these two games today. For the Eagles defense, we have pitching in the circle for the Eagles, Angelina Bonilla. Catching is Abby Thomas. First base, Casey Huber. Second base, we have Hope Hernandez. Third base, Taylor Filla. Shortstop, Reedy Davenport. Left field, McKenna Batterton. Center field, Avery Biancos. And right field, Kana Davis. And to start it off, number 12, Taylor Milton, the freshman for the IRSC, shooting that ball all the way out to the left field. McKenna Batterton making the catch for the Eagles for the first out. And for the second out for the Eagles, number 15, Kat Rhoden, the redshirt sophomore, blooping that ball right up to the third baseman, Taylor Filla. That ball up a little bit high for number 16, Ashley Robinson. Well, a little missed throw there from the catcher. Here we are, 2 outs now for the Eagles. Comes 2-1. Number 16, Ashley Robinson, battling to try to get on base. There we go, the sophomore drawing a walk. First one to get on base for the IRSC. Big swing and a miss there. That ball just missing for Vanilla. Went up a little bit high in the zone, but looked like it was good enough, but I guess it just missed a little bit for the umpire. That ball fouled off. The runner on first there, making a really good turn, getting there very quick. There we go, the third out for the Eagles. A foul ball. Caught by the first baseman, Casey Huber. All right, to start things off for the Eagles, number 4, Avery Villancos, the freshman from Orlando, Florida. Going for the bunt there. Pulls back and is a ball just outside and low. There we go, a similar spot from Milton, the pitcher for the IRSC. About just getting in the river there. Looks like Milton is pitching in a similar position for Villancos, right on those outside corners. Goes for that bunt. Third base picks it up, but drops the ball. Lets it go. Catcher picks it up there in foul territory. Good job from Villancos. That bunt was placed perfectly. I really like how she deadened that ball. This field right now, perfect for slapping, bunting, getting it right on in the dirt. Third baseman was sprinting to get that ball. Got a little bit choked up. Villancos stealing second. Looks like we got a little team meeting. What makes slappers so effective is the ability to have so much speed on the field and just cause so much havoc. A lot of pressure gets put on the defense just from a slapper. They can be a power slapper like here. Number 42, Emily Estroff, the senior from Coconut Creek, Florida. Again on the outside corner, gets that strike. 2 strikes now on the senior. Taylor Milton, the pitcher for Indian River State College, just a freshman. That ball looked a little bit off speed up in the zone. Look at Indian River State College defense. Their shortstop is over so far, expecting Estroff to hit it on that side of the field. Hard slap to the third baseman. That ball is called foul. Two and two for Estroff. Estroff fouling that ball off a little bit up in the zone. Big swing there from Estroff and goes down for the first out for the Indian River State College. Runners on second now with Hope Hernandez, number 17, the graduate student from Tampa, Florida. That ball first pitch strike for Milton. That ball just getting away. Bianco stealing from second to third, getting up easy. A great job from the defense from Indian River State College. Third base got that ball, hard grounder, checked the runner on third, Bianco's, held up there, and the throw was made in time to get Hope Hernandez out for the second out for Indian River State College. Taylor Filla now to bat, the senior from Fort Myers, Florida. Hits that ball up the middle, grounds that ball, and the throw is in time to get the third out for Indian River State College. Score is 0-0 FGCU versus IRSC for game 1. An uneventful inning for both teams. Avery Bianco's able to get on base for the Eagles, and Kat Rhoden able to draw a walk. Hoping to start things off here for IRSC. Number 6, Kelsey Gansey. Check swings that for strike 1. Goes for the bunt, but knocks it foul. Abby Thomas getting a hold of that ball real quick. We have the same defense for the Eagles as last inning. Angelina Bonilla pitching, Abby Thomas catching, Casey Huber at first base, Hope Hernandez at second base, Taylor Filla at third base, Reedy Davenport at shortstop, McKenna Batterton in left field, Avery Bianco's center field, and right field we have Kana Davis. That ball hit to Reedy just in time for the out for the Eagles. Number 2, Sonny Bearden, the sophomore, now trying to make a difference here for IRSC. That ball fouled back for strike 1. Taylor Filla able to grab a hold of that ball and throw it in time for the second out for the Eagles. Number 8, Kyla Neer. Watching that ball go right on by. It's a strike 1. First pitch strike for Bonilla. Great pitch there from Bonilla. Kyla Neer watching that ball go by. Looks pretty good. Probably a pretty good spot for most batters. decided to take that one. And there we go, the third out for the Eagles. Kyla Neer taking a shot at that last pitch from Vanilla. Had 2 strikes on her. Hernandez fielding that ball with ease. 0-0 still for Game 1 FGCU versus IRSC. Here we go for the Eagles, starting off with this inning. Kana Davis. That ball inside, takes it for the first ball. Look at that stance for Kana Davis. That stands very wide open, but decides to step in. Really get that impact on the ball. The open stance here and steps in to get that power. Really hard ground ball. Throw is in time for the first out for the IRSC. Following her up is Reedy Davenport, the senior from St. John's, Florida. That ball hit to the left center gap. Center field calling that ball off. Good communication out there from Indian River State College. Second out. Megan Ricks, the sophomore from Tallahassee, Florida, looking to make an impact here for the Eagles. Taylor Milton getting that spot right on the river there. Great spot for the first pitch strike. That ball getting in there again for the second strike on Ricks. Ricks staying confident. Working with 2 strikes and 2 outs now. Taylor Milton looking to shut this one down. That ball fouled off. Ricks battling up there to get on base. Great approach, by the way, from Ricks. Found those balls off that seem close. You have 2 strikes on you. Really trying to just work the count, stay in the at-bat. The worst feeling is when you get caught looking and you think about all of the what ifs. What if I swung? Best to swing. at anything close in this situation. That ball hit to the center fielder. Looks like that ball was caught. Second baseman and center fielder get into a little bit of a tassel there. Not sure about the communication. Might have been last second there, but they did hold on to the ball and they got the out, and that's really all that matters in that situation as well. One, two, three inning there for Indian River State College, getting those quick outs. Eagles trying to keep up their defense, fight back here. IRSC looking to break through this pitching, get through their Eagles defense, and try to make an impact. We are in the top of the third now. Looks like we have the same defensive positions. Angelina Bonilla pitching, Abby Thomas catching, Casey Huber at first base. We have a little bit of a change here. Emily Estroff at second base, Taylor Filla at third base, Reedy Davenport at shortstop, McKenna Batterton in left field, Avery Viancos in center field, and right field, Kana Davis. Two strikes for number 19, Macy Stanfield, the redshirt sophomore. That ball a little lost there. Stanfield able to readjust, take a breath, has 1-2 count now. With two strikes, you just got to stay in it, stay confident. It's not over. You're still in the game. Just have to make those really small adjustments and protect as the strike zone gets a little bit smaller. That ball popped up. Bonilla calls it for the first out for the Eagles. There we go, the defense giving her some love. Great reaction from Bonilla in the pitcher's mound. Here we are, number 17, Raylen Rowland, the freshman for the IRSC. That ball pulled to the right side and a pass ball. She goes for second and gets there in time. A double on an error there. And that's the kind of things that I'm talking about with slappers, is their speed makes a huge impact on the defense, making the defense get a little bit of pressure there, having to throw the ball faster than normal. Runners on second now with one out. IRSC breaking through. Number 4, another slapper. for the IRSC. Cassidy Crump. Looks like we're getting a pinch runner for the runner on second, Raylen Rowland. A big swing there from Crump. As a slapper, there's so much to learn. It's a very intricate type of batting experience compared to right-handed. I would know I did slap back in my days of softball, and I was a right-handed hitter for the most of my career. Ivy Thomas, that ball getting away from her, but she quickly picks that up. Cassidy Crump, 2-1 with 1 out. That ball fouled off for 2-2 now. The main approach that Cassidy Crump needs to take here is to just put this ball in play, get into a spot where she can advance the runner and get herself on base as well, confuse the defense. That is all what slapping is about. Whether you're bunting, chop slapping, power slapping, anything like that, confusing the defense, making them lose control and communication with each other is definitely one of the biggest things that slappers are known for. Looks like the runner is safe at first and batter's advanced. Runners on first and third now. Coach David Diros appealing these calls here. Cassidy Crump doing exactly what I was just talking about. Just causing so much havoc on the field now, putting that pressure on the Eagles. We are at the top of the lineup. The pitcher, Taylor Milton, the freshman for the IRSC. Big job here for her. Runner in scoring position. Eagles staying tight now. That ball going foul. Shortstop and left field sprinting very hard for that ball, really trying to get that second out to let a little bit of the pressure off from the Eagles. With 2 strikes on Milton, the freshman for Indian River State College, with runners on first and third. There's a lot of pressure on her to try and do her job, advance the runners. Big swing there, fouls it off. Eagles coming together, trying to relax, pull back a little bit, try not to get all that pressure worked up, stop the bleeding here. Get on the same page. Communication is very important, as well as support from your teammates. Looks like they're all on the same page now. Ready to get this out here. Taylor Milton trying to make an impact, break through with 2 strikes on her, 1 out. Runners on first and third. Hit by pitch there, dead ball. Bases loaded now. Number 15, Kat Rhoden, the redshirt sophomore. Been in it for 3 years here now. Has a lot of experience with this team. Seen a lot of pitches. A lot of different types of pitching. Bases loaded. Big job here. In this approach, you want to hit to get all of the runners in, of course, but the main objective, the minimal objective, is to just get a single and advance runners. That ball, getting that spot, Vanilla, getting that strike on the inside river there. Great spot. That ball fouled out. 2-2 here for Rhoden, the redshirt sophomore. That foul ball popped up there, caught by the Eagles for the second out. Two outs now with bases loaded. Lots of pressure for the sophomore Ashley Robinson from Indian River State College. Has a huge job here trying to at least get a single to advance the runners. Sacrifice fly will no longer work in this situation. Great spot there from Vanilla. Didn't quite get there though. That ball getting on the river there, getting a strike for Vanilla. 1-1 now for Robinson, the sophomore. Big swing there. Great approach from Robinson. Trying to pick a pitch that she likes, that she can drive. She knows she can drive. That ball hit up the middle, missed by Estroff. Center fielder coming in to get that ball. That ball passed. Little bit of a tough situation there for the Eagles. That hit from Ashley Robinson, the sophomore from Indian River State College, gets a triple from all of those past throws there. Bringing in 3 runs for Indian River State College. Ashley Robinson getting it through in the infield, making a huge impact there, getting past Emily Estroff, diving for that ball. Great attempt by her to try and stop that from getting out of the infield. That throw just misses, gets a little bit past, and 3 runners score. Robinson getting on 3 there. 23, Cecilia Osbon, the freshman. With 2 outs here, runner in scoring position, has been a great eye right now. One and two with 2 outs, runners on 3. Great job there from Taylor Filla. Picks up that ball, makes sure that she sets herself up to get that run, to get that throw perfectly to get the out. An eventful inning there for Indian River State College. Getting runners on first and third early with 2 back-to-back slappers. Ashley Robinson with bases loaded, hitting 3 runners in. Emily Estroff tries to dive for that ball to keep it in the infield, just misses it, goes to the outfield. 3 runners advance, getting Robinson on third at the same time. Scores 3-0, IRSC in the lead. Number 30, Abby Thomas, the junior from Fort Myers, Florida, starting things off for the Eagles. And there you have it, Abby Thomas getting that ball through the infield. Perfect gap between the pitcher and second baseman out in the outfield, right center, getting herself on base. Abby Thomas getting a pinch runner. Now following her up, McKenna Batterton, the senior from Norco, California. That ball hit to left field. Dives for that ball. Misses it and is safe at first. Runner from first going to second, gets out. Thought that she might have caught that ball. However, it was dropped. Here we go. Number 4, Avery Viancos, the slapper, a freshman from Orlando, Florida. Runners on first here for the Eagles with 1 out. Viancos. That ball just getting in there. Viancos fouling that ball off to the third base side. Pitchers typically pitch to slappers on the outside corner, which is exactly what we want as slappers, to put it on that side, get it in the 5-6 hole, especially to advance the runners. McKenna Batterton making it back to that base. Bit of a count mix out there. Bit of a count mix up there. Deciding to call. Looks like they're talking about the count mix-up. Diros trying to appeal this call here, explaining that it was, in fact, not 2 strikes, but 1 strike, determining that Viancos is out for the second out for the IRSC. Emily Estroff now up to bat. Here we go, switch hitter now, Emily Estroff. Hits that ball to second, short base, that's a thing now. Shortstop, getting the throw in time to get Emily Estroff out for the third out for the IRSC. A confusing inning there for the Eagles. Had a little bit of a count mix-up, making it 2 outs. Viancos being the second out. Emily Estroff switch hitting. Hits it to shortstop and doesn't make it in time for the throw. Gets 3 outs for the Eagles. Score is 3-0. IRSC in the lead. Top of the third, back-to-back slappers, getting runners on first and third. Another runner, Kat Rhoden, getting hit by pitch to make the bases loaded for IRSC. Then Ashley Robinson cleaning up those runners on base, hitting through the infield, getting by Emily Estroff, trying to make that diving catch. Gets on third herself. 3-0. Number 6, Kelsey Gansey, the freshman by IRSC, starting things off here. That ball fouled off, almost goes out of play, but Amaya Gaynor gets the out. 1 out now for the Eagles. A defensive positioning change here. Jordan Almasy pitching. Lillian Wilkerson catching. Megan Ricks at first base. Emily Estroff at second base. Amaya Gaynor at third base. Hope Hernandez at shortstop. Avery Bianco is in left field. Riley Oakes in center field. And Kaylin Cole in right field. Sorry, that's Ashley Hayes in right field. Lanier going for that bunt, letting it go foul. Runner on first was ready to round second and take third. Lanier, the freshman for IRSC. The ball grounded by Ricks. Held the throw to second. 2 outs now for the Eagles. A great play from Ricks. That grounder very hard. Ricks able to handle it. Tag her base. Turns to look for the throw, but just wasn't in time. Ricks switching out now with Jordan Gendron. Ricks getting switched out there, possibly because Coach Diros would have preferred her to go for the lead runner instead of tagging her base first. 2 outs though for the Eagles, with number 19, Macy Stanfield, the redshirt sophomore. That ball popped up and caught by the catcher for 3 outs for the Eagles. Score is 3-0. IRSC in the lead over FGCU after Ashley Robinson, the sophomore from Indian River State College, getting through the infield, a hit that lands her a triple from a couple of errors, and advancing 3 runners into home. Number 17, Hope Hernandez, the graduate student from Tampa, Florida, looking to make some damage here on the IRSC defense. Watches that ball go in for the first ball. Hernandez sends that ball over the infielders through the shortstop and third base hole, 5-6 hole there. Left fielder getting a hold of it, getting into second base, holding Hernandez up at first for a single. That ball hit to second base. Throws in time for the first out for the IRSC defense. Hernandez advancing to second base. Number 11, Kana Davis, the redshirt senior from Harrisburg, Virginia. Looking for a ball to send to the outfield behind the runner to advance Hernandez, hopefully to home. Getting a run for the Eagles. 2 balls now. That ball getting in the inside river for Davis. A strike. 2-1 now. That ball hit foul. First base and right field, running for that ball, not able to get it in time for the out. Davis with a new life. One of the things I talked about earlier, Davis with that open stance, getting a lot of drive through her swing. Last doubleheader, able to hit multiple home runs. Davis now with full count, 1 out, and runners on second. Scoring position. Draws a walk. Ashley Hayes coming in to pinch run for Davis. That ball fouled out of play for Reedy Davenport. Runners on first and second in scoring position. Davenport known for having a hot bat. Her approach very confident, able to drive the ball wherever it's pitched. That ball inside, taking it. 1-1. Good eye from Davenport, working the count 2-1. Runners in scoring position, really trying to make sure that she gets a hold of the ball that she knows she can drive. Like this one, driven past the center fielder. That ball hits the wall, bounces off. Center fielder grabs a hold of it, throwing it into home. Safe. Davenport driving in 2 runs, getting herself a stand-up double. Davenport making it look easy, getting her hands through that ball. It was a little bit up in the zone, but in a perfect sweet spot for her to drive it over the center fielder's head. Center fielder grabbed that ball after it hit hard off the wall, able to throw it in for the relay to home. Runners advance for the Eagles, 3-2. IRSC in the lead, but FGCU making a huge impact now, getting their confidence up. Riley Topliff hitting that to the third baseman, getting the second out for the Eagles. Davenport still at second, in scoring position for Abby Thomas. That ball outside. Thomas wanting to grab it to drive it, but knows to stay away from those chasing pitches. Davenport playing around with the catcher there. Knows how to have fun and knows how to disturb the defense with her confidence levels through the roof. That ball coming in there. Doesn't quite make the spot for the umpire to call. 3 balls now for Abby Thomas. Looking to smash one into the outfield, getting Davenport in. Takes that ball for a walk. Runners on first and second now for McKenna Batterton. Indian River State College catching up with each other. Looks like the head coach comes out to talk to the pitcher-catcher duo after the walk. Jayden Gendron taking the place here. Two outs here with runners on first and second. A ball outside. So far, consistently in this inning, Milton pitching that ball in the outside corner, coming inside a lot as well. That ball hit to the left fielder, drops that ball, driving in Davenport and Abby Thomas from first, getting Gendron a stand-up double. Looks like the left fielder had a little bit of trouble, got a bad step with that drop step. Not the best angle. Looked like she went straight to that ball instead of going back first and coming around to catch that ball. Just dropped it, tipped her glove, went behind her. Getting runners from first and second, Abby Thomas and Reedy Davenport into home. Score is now 4-3. FGCU in the lead over IRSC. Avery Bianco is looking to redeem herself after a count mix-up. Got her out. Attempts the bunt, pulls back. Two balls for Biancos. Draws a walk there. Biancos redeeming herself after that count mix-up earlier. Runners on first and second. Emily Estroff up to bat. That ball to the center fielder, caught for the third out for the IRSC. An eventful inning for the Eagles there. Jayden Gendron hitting Abby Thomas and Reedy Davenport after left fielder takes a bad step, drops the ball in left field. Score is now 4-3, FGCU versus IRSC. Emily Estroff popping that ball up to the center fielder for the third out for the IRSC. It is very hard to be a switch hitter, mainly slapping from the left side, power hitting, learning all these intricate things to be a slapper, then switching around to the right side. It is very, very difficult to do. Here we are, pitching Jordan Almasy for the Eagles. Sam Lesky catching, first base. Jayden Gendron, second base. Emily Estroff. Shortstop, Hope Hernandez. Third, Amaya Gaynor. That ball, first pitch strike. Raylen Rowland calling time there. Look at the outfield defense change here for Raylen Rowland. Outfield shifting, right field line pretty far open, knowing that Almasy will be pitching in a specific spot. Stoppers are typically known to go more on the left field side. Rowland fouling it off there. 2-2 for the freshman. That ball just gets past Amaya Gaynor at third there. Tries to make that diving catch. Still 2-2 for the freshman. A little bit of pressure here. Just trying to work the count, battle back here, and go at her own pace. Slapped at the middle. Gets a single. Sam Lesky attempting to get that runner out at first there. Doesn't quite get there in time. Number 4, Cassidy Crump. In left field for the Eagles, we have Avery Viancos. Center field, Riley Oakes. That ball hit foul on the left field line from the slapper, Cassidy Crump. In right field, we have Kaylin Cole. 1-2 now for the sophomore. Crump calling time again, going at her own pace, trying to readjust, break that awkward silence up at the plate between the pitcher and batter. Also trying to disrupt Almasy. Almasy hitting her spot there, and Crump fouling that ball off. Still 1-2. 2-2 for the sophomore. Runners on first. That ball close, but not in time. Sam Lesky doing a great job trying to pick off those runners there. Full count. That ball coming inside, a great spot from Almasy, trying to trick up this slapper here, Cassidy Crump. Swinging, fouling it off, battling up at the plate, trying to get something started for the IRSC. That ball just a little bit high in the zone. Runners on one first and second. Bad camera angle by me, but they did get the out for out number 1 for the Eagles. Sam Lesky doing a great job picking up that runner. Number 12, Taylor Milton, a freshman, the top of the lineup here for the IRSC. Sam Lesky, seeing that she didn't go for the bunt, that runner at second got a huge lead. Lesky trying to pick her off at third. Third baseman, Amaya Gaynor, picking her off for the first out for the Eagles. Here we are, 1-1 for Milton. As a catcher, I can only imagine how much of the energy and intensity that you have to bring and the communication between the pitcher and yourself, as well as the umpire. As you can see, the catchers here for this game, especially Lesky, constantly checking with the umpire, seeing where something missed, how we can improve, to really direct the pitcher to hit those spots. That ball popped up for the second out for the Eagles. Cat Rhoden taking that first pitch strike there. That ball hit in the spot. 2 outs now with a runner on first. Lesky getting that throw. Getting that throw to the shortstop, but just wasn't in time. Umpire called her safe there. Great throw from the freshman catcher. That ball grounded out. Hit to second, got her at first. Number 15, Cat Rhoden, being the third out for IRSC. Score is 4-3. FGCU in the lead over Indian River State College. In the top of the three, runners were on first and third with back-to-back slappers. Rhoden hit by pitch to make the bases loaded for Indian River State College. Ashley Robinson cleaning up the bases by hitting past the Eagles' defense, scoring 3 runners and getting herself a triple. Then after that, the bottom of the fourth, Jordan Gendron hits Abby Thomas and Reedy Davenport in after left field drops a very hard line drive from Jordan Gendron, making the score 4-3. Number 12, Taylor Milton, still pitching for the IRSC. Hope Hernandez looking to make an impact. Takes that ball for ball 1. That spot and that pitch is very tricky because the umpire has been inconsistently calling that spot. There we go. That ball hit to third base. A throw in time to get the first out for the IRSC. As a pitcher, sometimes it can be frustrating when you can't figure out the umpire's strike zone. Thankfully here, the umpire's strike zone has been fairly consistent throughout the entirety of the game. Adjusting is a part of this game. 2 balls now. 3-0. Draws a walk. Eagles getting a runner on first. Kana Davis now up to bat with a runner on first for the Eagles. And a timeout for Indian River State College. Kana Davis, plenty of time to get her approach down here with 1 ball, 1 out, and runners on 1. That ball hit to the center fielder. Center fielder taking that drop step, getting to the fence there. stand up double for Kana Davis, advancing runners from first to third. Runners on second and third now, with Reedy Davenport up at the plate. Davenport having a hot bat. Last inning got on base, scoring. Looks like everyone's reconvening, getting on the same page here. A pitching change for Indian River State College. Number 7, Jesse Keach, the third baseman utility freshman. As a pitcher, it can be very tiring, racking up those pitches. Taylor Milton pitching quite a few innings there for Indian River State College. 2 back-to-back freshman pitchers for Indian River State College here, with Reedy Davenport, a very experienced hitter, a senior for the Eagles. As a junior, Davenport was named ASUN Defensive Player of the Year, which was the first Eagle to win the award. That ball driven out to the right center gap. Right fielder picking that up. Davenport advancing to first base, getting those runners in. Davenport does such a great job at the plate, has such a hot bat, able to get her hands through and drive that ball to where it needs to go behind the runners in that situation. Score is now 6-3, FGCU in the lead. Riley Topliff now up the plate. Sophomore from Fort Myers, Florida. As a freshman last season, Topliff appeared in 21 games, making 2 starts at second base. That ball getting by. Runners advance from first to second there. Topliff also produced 3 hits, scored 3 runs with 1 RBI last season, walked twice, and was 1 for 1 on stolen base attempts. Her first collegiate hit was an RBI against UConn. Jesse Keach getting that spot in the inside of that river. 1-1 now with 1 out and runners on second. Runners advancing, stealing from second to third here for the Eagles. Riley Topliff, 1-2 now. Swings for that pitch. Jesse Keach gets her to chase. 2 outs now for Indian River State College. Abby Thomas up to bat with runners on 3. fouling that ball off for strike one on Thomas. Sacrifice fly won't work in this situation. Runners on 3 here with 2 outs now. Abby Thomas looking to make a single. A ball up in the zone, rising a little bit even. Thomas recognizing that is not in the strike zone. 2-1 now. Big swing there. 2-2. Thomas fouls that ball off. Close enough to be called a strike. Tries to protect the plate. Big swing and a miss. Big out there for Indian River State College. Score is 6-3. FGCU in the lead over Indian River State College. Eventful inning there for the Eagles again after Reedy Davenport hits 2 runners in. 6-3 here. Ali Hume now in the circle for the Eagles. Number 16, Ashley Robinson, the sophomore for Indian River State College, in the top of the 3rd with bases loaded, hitting that triple and scoring 3 runs for Indian River State College. Let's see how her approach is with a new pitcher here, Ali Hume. Big swing there from Robinson, which is the right approach. Robinson trying to get on base, trying to pick a pitch that she knows that she can get on base with. The throw made in time to get the first out for the Eagles. A nice scoop there from Casey Huber, the first baseman. Taylor Filla fielding that ball. Number 23, Cecilia Osbon, the freshman cleanup hitter here for Indian River State College. That ball just misses. Great idea from Allie Hume. Osbon having a good eye, great discipline, trying to work the count here now for her at bat. That pitch gets in there for the first strike against the freshman. 2-1 now. Looks like Hume trying to hit that same spot that she just went for. 3-1 now. That ball gets away a little bit. The junior from Safety Harbor pitching for the Eagles. A lot of experience in the circle. That ball popped up. Center fielder tracking that ball with ease, getting the second out for the Eagles. Freshman Osbon just gets under it as it pops up. Kelsey Gansey taking that first pitch strike. That ball fouled out of play. 2 strikes now on the freshman. A lot of pressure here with 2 outs and 2 strikes. Allie Hume looking to shut this one down. Caught looking for 3 strikes for Kelsey Gansey, the freshman. Score is 6-3, FGCU in the lead over Indian River State College. Again, thank you for joining the FGCU live stream for this doubleheader. Game 1 here. McKenna Batterton up at the plate, looking to start things off here for the Eagles. Getting that batter's box all set up after the slappers cause some it is sort of nice to be in the lefty's batter's box because there's not as much holes and damage in the batter's box as there is in the right-handed batter's box. That ball getting in the river there, hitting that spot for the umpire to call first pitch strike. Jesse Keach trying to get that outside corner again. Knows that the umpire called it on that first pitch. Still trying to get that called. 2-1 now for Batterton. Batterton takes a swing. That ball drops. Batterton stand up double. Looks like the left fielder tried to dive for that ball, but just missed it. Kind of Batterton getting a great round off first. Getting to second, very speedy, able to stand up. That ball bunted the foul line. Runners in scoring position here for Lillian Wilkerson. Bunting that ball in the same spot. Advancing runners from second to third. Batterton making it on third base from that bunt. Wilkerson doing her job, advancing the runners with that bunt down the first base line. Amaya Gaynor now up at the plate with runners on third. That ball fouled back. As a freshman last season, Gaynor appeared in 27 games, making 8 starts, primarily at third base, when inserted into the lineup. She batted a .214 with 9 runs, 6 hits, 1 double, and produced 4 RBIs. Gaynor also went 3 for 3. She went 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts. That ball popped up to the left fielder. McKenna Batterton held up at third, not able to make that run home. Casey Huber, the senior from Dade City, Florida. Big swing and a miss there for strike one. Two outs now for the Eagles. Big swings here from Casey Huber. Great approach at the plate. Now has to widen the strike zone. Jesse Keach trying to get that outside corner to get strike 3 on the senior, but just doesn't get the spot. That ball very close. Full count now for Huber. Jesse Keach wishing to get that strike called. Some pressure here now. Full count with 2 outs, runners on third. Huber takes a huge swing, a big out for Indian River State College. Pitching for the Eagles, still we have Allie Hume catching Abby Thomas. First base, Casey Huber. Second base, Hope Hernandez. Third base, Taylor Filla. Shortstop, Reedy Davenport. Left field, McKenna Batterton. Center field, Riley Oakes. And right field, Avery Viancos. Sonny Bearden looking to start things off for Indian River State College. One and two here for the sophomore. Full count here. That ball hit to the shortstop, Reedy Davenport. The throw is made in time for the out. Great play from Davenport. Picking that ball up, getting that great range, and throwing it as soon as it's in the glove. Quick play there from Davenport for the first out for the Eagles. Kayla Neer looking to pick up her fallen teammate, Sunny Bearden. Two and one now for the freshman. Ali Hume hitting that spot, knowing the umpire is going to call it, works back the count 2-2 now with one out. Kayla Neer expanding that strike zone, knowing the umpire is going to call it, swings and misses for the second out for the Eagles. Number 19, Macy Stanfield, the redshirt sophomore. Ali Hume on fire, hitting those spots, knowing where the umpire will call the ball on those outside corners. Just misses that spot. That ball fell. Not able to make the play on that one. Two and two now with two outs for number 19, Macy Stanfield. That ball hit to Taylor Filla. Throws made in time for the third out for the Eagles. That's it for game one. FGCU 6 over Indian River State College 3. In the top of the third, we had back-to-back slappers get on first and third. Then Cat Rhoden hit by pitch, making bases loaded for Ashley Robinson to clean up the bases, hitting a triple driving in 3 runners to get those 3 runs for Indian River State College. Then in the bottom of the 4th, Jordan Gendron had something to say back, hits Abby Thomas and Reedy Davenport after getting on base. After left field dropped that hard line drive from Jordan Gendron, making the score 4-3. Then in the bottom of the 5th, Reedy Davenport hits in 2 runs after getting herself a stand-up double, making it 6-3. Thank you for joining us for Game 1, and stay tuned for Game 2 here shortly. Welcome back to the FGCU live stream. FGCU versus Indian River State College. Last game, FGCU took the game 6-3. In the circle, we have Emily Estroff. Catching is Neely Peterson. First base, Jordan Gendron. Second base, Maddie Wicker. Third base, Riley Topliff. Shortstop, Amaya Gaynor. Left field, Avery Bianco. Center field, Ashley Hayes. And right field, Kana Davis. To start things off for Indian River State College, we have Taylor Milton, number 12, the freshman, also a pitcher. That ball fouled off for 2-2 now on Milton. Our field guys at FGCU really cleaned up that field, those high traffic areas, allowing these players to play on a well leveled, even playing field here. No pun intended. That ball hit right back at the pitcher, Emily Estroff, making the throw to Jordan Gendron at first there to get the first out for the FGCU Eagles. Estroff getting the first pitch strike there on Kat Rhoden, the redshirt sophomore. Estroff hitting that corner there on the outside river, getting 2 strikes now, ahead of the count over Kat Rhoden. That ball hit foul. Jordan Gendron catching that ball to make the second out for the Eagles. A great job from Gendron locating that ball, popped up even through the sun there. That ball coming inside there, missing that spot. Estroff, a great spot there. Number 16, Ashley Robinson, the sophomore for Indian River State College, taking that first pitch, ball 1. A great spot there from Estrov, just missing again, getting 2 balls and 1 strike on Robinson. Two and two now. Remember, in game 1, Robinson was the reason that IRSC got their 3 runs. She hit a ball right through the infield with bases loaded, getting herself a stand-up triple, advancing 3 runners into home. Robinson now with 2 strikes and 2 outs. A lot of pressure on her now to get things started, only in the first inning. So she does have time to redeem herself if she can't execute. Swings for that ball and fouls it off. Still staying in it. A great spot there from Estrov, just missing that outside corner on the river there, trying to adjust. Catcher Neely Peterson asking the umpire there for some advice on where that pitch actually missed. The ball fouled off again. Robinson battling, taking a lot of pitches here. That pitch just missing on the outside river. Looks like Estrov got that spot called earlier. However, missed that spot twice against Robinson. Now it's about the freshman, number 23, Cecilia Osbon. Osbon takes that pitch, ball 1. That ball hit foul, 1-1 now for the freshman. As a pitcher, as I said earlier, it can be a little frustrating when the umpire doesn't call the spots that you are hitting. Sometimes the spots are called, sometimes they're not. Depending on what the umpire sees in that moment, it is tough because you have to adjust where you're pitching from. That's still safe from first to second. You have to adjust where you're pitching from and the spots that you're typically used to hitting in order to adjust to the umpire's calls, which is a very typical tradition to do in softball and in baseball. Adjusting is a huge part of this game as a batter, as a fielder, as an infielder. The ball coming inside, a great spot from Estrov. Depending on where the umpire is calling those pitches, it affects every single person on the field. Where the pitch is being placed is typically going to determine where that hit is going to be. That ball popped up and caught for out number 3 for the Eagles. Score is tied up 0-0. Couple of donuts there for FGCU versus Indian River State College. Thank you for joining us on this live stream here. Pitching now for Indian River State College is Taylor Rhoden, the redshirt sophomore. Riley Oaks now up to bat. Three and one here for the junior, Riley Oaks. That ball on the outside corner, called a strike. As a slapper, it's extremely important to stay in that line as you're running towards the pitch. There's a very difficult skill to learn and pick up, and there's so much to learn, especially as a freshman. But the junior Riley Oaks here probably has a lot of experience with slapping. The ball slapped foul to the left fielder, but dropped in time. Riley Oaks with a new life. Oaks hitting it right back to Rhoden. Rhoden turning to go to 1 for the first out for IRSC. Hernandez taking that pitch She knows that's a strike. Strike 2 for Hernandez, the graduate student. Hernandez batting a .267 last season with 28 hits, hit 9 doubles with 8 RBIs, and walked 5 times. Hernandez went 5 for 6 in stolen base attempts. She had 9 multi-hit games, and her season best was 3 hits against Florida State back in February. That ball gets away there. 1-2 for Hernandez. Takes that pitch, 2-2. Hernandez looking to get on, just trying to expand her strike zone now that she has 2 strikes, staying confident up there, trying to make some damage and start something for the Eagles. Big swing there. 2 outs now for Indian River State College. Kana Davis, the redshirt senior from Harrisonburg, Virginia, now to bat. That ball inside. Big swing there from Davis. Davis getting herself a single, helping herself there. Driving that ball through the middle of the field. Pitcher tries to grab for it, but just doesn't quite get there. Reedy Davenport now following her up. Runners on 1. First pitch strike there for Rhoden. Another miss on the inside corner there. 1-1 now. Davenport with a hot bat here today. Two outs with runners on first. Davenport fouls that up. The catcher running back to get that ball, but drops it. New life for Davenport here. Davenport swings for that ball up in the zone, gets her hands through, but it just went right to the left fielder to get the third out for IRSC. 0-0 still. A tied game here. Moving into the top of the second. Still pitching for the Eagles, Emily Estroff, and still catching Neely Peterson. First base is Jordan Gendron. Second base is Maddie Wicker. Third base, Riley Topliff. Shortstop, Amaya Gaynor. Left field, Avery Bianco. Center field, Ashley Hayes. In right field, Kana Davis. And up to bat for Indian River State College, number 6, Kelsey Gansey, the freshman. Gansey goes for that bunt and is called a strike. 1-1 now. The ball just misses. 2-1 now for Estroff. Estroff getting that inside corner of the river called. 2-2 now. Estroff working the count back. That ball hit to Riley Topliff, able to field it and throw it in time for the out, for the first out for the Eagles. Number 2, Sonny Bearden, the sophomore for Indian River State College, now up to bat with 1 out, trying to make an impact for IRSC. These hitters really trying to make a breakthrough on the FGCU defense and get a hold of the pitching, trying to adjust. Again, as I said earlier, adjustments are all part of this game. Adjusting to the umpire's calls, adjusting to the pitching, adjusting to the fielding, all of the above. Sonny Bearden popping that up. Emily Estroff running up to get that ball for the second out for the Eagles. Number 44 fouling it off there on the third base side. Two outs for the Eagles defense. That ball hit to the right center gap. Center fielder thrown into second base. A stand-up double for number 44 there. Ashley Hayes getting a hold of that ball after it's bounced soft off the wall. Runners on second, scoring position with 2 outs. And number 18, Devin Ryan, the sophomore for IRSC, up to bat. First pitch strike for Estroff, getting ahead early in the count. And a ball there on that river, 1-1. It's extremely important as a pitcher to get ahead of the batter in the count, put a lot of pressure on them, and make them nervous as they lose their approach. When you get ahead of them early in the count, and as the batter, you just have to adjust and stay confident with 2 strikes on you, trying to make something happen. Estroff getting 2 balls now on the batter, 2-1 with 2 outs, runners in scoring position on second base. That ball getting inside. Estroff trying to get that inside corner again. Seems like it's been inconsistently called all night. Pitchers are unable to hit those spots consistently because the umpires aren't exactly calling them the high percentage. 3-1. The ball fouled out of play. Devin Ryan really battling, working the count here off of Estroff with 2 outs, just trying to advance the runner and get herself on base. Full count for the sophomore. That ball is misplayed by Riley Topliff at third base. A grounder from Devin Ryan to third base. Riley Topliff tries to get that ball, scoop it up, and throw it to first, but just bobbles it a little bit. Runners on first and third now, putting a little bit of pressure on the FGCU defense. 2 outs here. Raylen Rowland, the freshman, trying to cause some havoc there by bunting. Strike 1 on Rowland. Estroff does a great job of trusting her defense, knowing that they have her back. Big swing there from Rowland. Strike 2. As I said, this puts a lot of pressure on the batter. Estroff getting ahead in the count, making the batter lose confidence and switch up her approach. Rowland still staying confident, having that good eye. Neely Peterson trying to pick off that batter at third. Runner from first advances to second. Runners on second and third now. 1-2 with 2 outs. Freshman Raylen Rowland has a huge job here. Estroff trying to get on that outside corner again, but just missing. Umpires not calling it. 2-2. That ball hit straight to Emily Estroff, walking off the field. 3 outs now for the Eagles defense. What a great snag from Emily Estroff with that pitching defense there. Grabbing that ball, look at that smile. Really quick ninja reflexes right there from Estroff. Score is 0-0. Indian River State College putting a little bit of pressure there on the Eagles by getting runners on in scoring position with 2 outs. However, Emily Estroff with those ninja reflexes, snagging that ball in midair, getting the 3rd out for the Eagles, stopping the bleeding that Indian River State College was putting against them. Let's see how they can come back from this. IRSC just trying to hold off FGCU from making any damage, just as they did last game in Game 1. With Amaya Gaynor, the sophomore, up to bat. Last season as a freshman, Gaynor appeared in 27 games, making 8 starts primarily at third base when inserted into the lineup. Batted a .214 with 9 runs, 6 hits, 1 double, and produced 4 RBIs. Gaynor went 3 for 3 in stolen bases, and there was no errors on defense as she produced 7 putouts and 13 assists. First pitch strike there now. Fouled off. Taylor Rhoden getting ahead of a Gaynor in the count now. 2 strikes. That ball shot to the left center field. However, left field tracking that ball, making sure not to drop it that time. In Game 1, the left fielder dropped a ball hit from Jordan Gendron, which caused 3 runs to score. Left fielder holding on to that ball, getting a better read, a better drop step, and a better angle to that ball for the first out for IRSC. Neely Peterson now up to bat for the Eagles. That ball hit to right field for a single for Neely Peterson. Great way of helping herself there, getting on base, picking up her fallen teammate. 1 out with runners on 1 now. Jordan Gendron up to bat. As I said earlier, hit that line drive to the left field, dropping that hard line drive and advancing the runners, scoring 2 runs. Pinch runner Ashley Hayes getting in for Neely Peterson, the catcher. That bunt goes right to the first baseman. Nobody's covering first there. And Jordan Gendron does her job, advances the runner from first to second, and gets herself on from that bunt. First baseman doing a really good job of going for that bunt. However, when she went to turn back, there was nobody covering that bag. Second baseman just not getting there in time, not really realizing what her job should have been in that situation. Happens to the best of us in the heat of the moment. Runners on first and second now with 1 out. Sam Lesky now up to bat. That ball hit right over the fence from Sam Lesky, driving in 3 runs, including herself. An amazing job from Sam Lesky, getting her hands right through that ball, driving that right over the left field fence. Indian River State College trying to reconvene and get on the same page here, communicate, pick each other up, and shake off this hurt and this damage that the Eagles are putting on their defense. Score is 3-0 now, FGCU over IRSC. A great job from Sam Lesky getting that home run. Riley Toplift taking that first pitch strike there from Taylor Rhoden. Taylor Rhoden now picking up the pace here, turning up the heat after that home run. A little bit frustrated. You can see the speed pick up. Tries to get that outside corner, but just doesn't get called. Riley Toplift, 2-1 now. Toplift seeing pitches here. As a freshman last season, appeared in 21 games, making 2 starts at second base, producing 3 hits, scored 3 runs with 1 RBI, walked twice, and is 1 for 1 in stolen base attempts on the season. Her first collegiate hit was an RBI double against UConn back in February. A ball coming inside. Draws a walk there for Toplift. Runners on first with 1 out for the Eagles. Number 6, Riley Oakes, back to the top of the lineup here for the Eagles. First pitch is a ball on that outside corner. Again, the umpire is not calling that spot anymore. As a pitcher, you have to just adjust to these corners, get a little bit inside there. Riley Oakes hitting that ball, a miss hit by Oakes, but it worked out in her favor, advancing the runners, almost acting like a bunt, getting herself on base, confused the first baseman a little bit there. Second base was ready that time to cover first. Just couldn't get that throw in time to get the out. 1 out here with Hernandez up to bat. Runners on first and second, scoring position. Hernandez, a big hitter. Hits a hard ground ball there to shortstop. And that throw would have been in time. It looks like the first baseman tried to tag Hernandez running to first and injured her wrist a little bit. Taking a little bit of a break now. It looks like that tag was pretty harsh on the first baseman and her wrist. That tends to be an issue sometimes when you're a little bit off course, the throw is a little bit off course, and you're forced to try and get that out and throw yourself into the batter to get that out and tag. Looks like she's walking off the field. Not sure if they're going to replace the first baseman or not. And they do. New first baseman comes in. Another opportunity for another player. Number 10, Nicolette Lucy Salerno, the sophomore. Primarily plays second base and shortstop, but when your time is called, your time is called. You just have to go in when you're needed. Kana Davis now up to bat. Runners now on second and third with 2 outs. Rhoden finally getting on that corner, the inside corner. Big swing there from Davis, fouls it off. Or actually just a swing and a miss. The umpire calls time there to talk to the pitcher a little bit. A few things that could be. Could be an illegal pitch, something that the umpire might have noticed. All smiles on the field right now. Count is 2-2 with 2 outs, runners on second and third. Bases loaded now as Davis draws a walk. Gets on to first. Last week, she ended up hitting multiple home runs. Reedy Davenport now up to bat. Her bat has been very hot these past couple of games. Coach is now calling a meeting within the infield. Trying to get everyone on the same page. Talk to the pitcher about Reedy Davenport. Last year was named the ASUN Defensive Player of the Year, which was the first Eagle to earn the award. She started 43 of 46 games, batted a .317, which was third highest on the team, recorded 40 hits, hit 12 doubles, which led the team, 1 triple and 2 home runs, registered 28 RBIs, which also led the team, and 26 runs scored. She had 11 multi-hit games. Reedy Davenport looking to drive these runners in. That ball fouled out of play there. 2 outs now with bases loaded for Davenport. Davenport always very confident in these situations when there is a lot of pressure. 2 outs, 2 strikes on her now with bases loaded. A very big job she has to drive these runners in and get a bunch of insurance runs for the Eagles. That ball gets away. 2-2 now for the senior. That ball fouled off, battling up there at the plate. She knows with 2 strikes she has to expand that strike zone, especially when the umpire is inconsistently calling certain corners. You just never know. 2-2 here for the senior. That ball hit up the middle of the field. Runners advance, scoring 1, scoring 2. Davenport getting herself to second, stand-up double. Runners on second and third now. 2 runs scored from Davenport. Score is now 5-0. FGCU in the lead over IRSC. Maya Gaynor up to bat. Amaya Gaynor has to have a confident approach as well, following up Reedy Davenport. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. That ball coming inside there. Missing that corner again. Taylor Rhoden trying to get that spot called, but it's just not working out. That ball hit to the second baseman. That ball's passed, and Amaya Gaynor goes for second. Reedy Davenport getting to home as well. Runners on second. That pass ball is going to cost them 2 runs. 1 run. 6-0 now. Gaynor sticking with that hit. She hit to the second baseman and didn't stop running, just ran through, saw that it was a pass ball. The second baseman had a little bit of pressure as Gaynor is very fast. Neely Peterson now up to bat. Peterson leaving that one a little bit up in the zone and outside, not wanting to drive that ball, looking for something else to hit, trying to search for a gap to advance Amaya Gaynor, running that is in scoring position. 2-2 now for Neely Peterson. That ball gets right through the infield. The 5-6 hole gets right through both third base and shortstop. Neely Peterson getting herself a stand-up double and advancing Amaya Gaynor to home, which leaves FGCU in the lead with 7 over Indian River State College with 0. Jordan Gendron now up to bat. First pitch strike there for Rhoden, the redshirt sophomore pitcher for Indian River State College, trying to stop the bleeding here. Found out that spot and is now getting there twice in a row there for 2 strikes, getting ahead of Gendron in the count. Gendron trying to stay confident with a good approach. Runners on second scoring position with 2 outs. Gendron hits that ball foul, unable to get that ball in the air. New life for Gendron. Indian River State College still trying to stay in it. A little bit discouraged, you can tell by their body language, but they are still in it, trying to shut these batters down. That ball gets away. Safe at third. Neely Peterson stealing from second to third. A great read on that and a great leadoff. Dead ball there for Gendron. Looks like it hurt a little bit, but she's going to run that off to first. Runners on first and third now for FGCU. Sam Lesky now up to bat, hit a home run in this inning, driving in 3 runs, including herself. Gendron getting herself in a pickle. That was a very hard slap from the second baseman there. Score is 7-0. That was the 3rd out for the Indian River State College. Score is 8-0. A very eventful inning there for the Eagles, scoring 8 runs just in that inning, starting it off with Sam Lesky's home run, driving in 3 runs. Jordan Gendron getting that 3rd out after stealing second, getting herself in a little bit of a pickle there, but there was 2 outs and there wasn't much to go from. Still pitching here. Moving into the top of the 3rd is Emily Estroff. Catching Neely Peterson. First base, Jordan Gendron. Second base, Maddie Wicker. Third base, Riley Topliff. Shortstop, Amaya Gaynor. Left field, Avery Viancos. Center field, Ashley Hayes. And right field, Kaylin Cole. Actually, looks like there is a bit of a switch with Amaya Gaynor now at third and Reedy Davenport at shortstop. Number 4, Cassidy Crump, the sophomore for Indian River State College, now up to bat, slapping. You can really see the shift here from the FGCU defense. Infield's playing in, outfield's also playing a little bit in, but ready and prepared for a power slap just in case, because you never know. Certain slappers just have that ability. Amaya Gaynor getting that ball in the air for the first out for the FGCU Eagles. Top of the lineup now for Indian River State College, Taylor Milton, the freshman, up to bat, right-handed hitter. First pitch strike for Estroff, getting ahead of these batters. That ball hit to the right fielder, Kaylin Cole, making the catch for the second out for the FGCU Eagles. That ball hit to Reedy Davenport, picked up, and the throw is in time for the third out for the FGCU Eagles. 1, 2, 3 outs for the Eagles. Score is 8-0. FGCU in the lead over Indian River State College. Continuing with number 24, Sam Leski's at bat here. Again, Taylor Rhoden trying to get that inside corner spot, but the umpire is just not calling it. So the pitching coach, you would think, would try and adjust that spot. Gets that one called, though. 1-1 now for Sam Leski. Big swing there from Leski. Knows that was just called. Went for that spot again. Rhoden getting a hold of that spot, now knowing exactly where the umpire is going to be calling it. 1-2 now. That ball slammed to the left field foul side. New life for Leski. That ball fouled out of play. 1-2 still for the freshman. That ball hit to the shortstop, trying to make that diving catch. Misses the ball, gets a little bit tripped up there. Sam Leski getting herself on first base, helping herself, getting a single. And to follow her up, number 9, Casey Huber. Casey Huber, the senior from Dade City, watches that ball get a little bit lost there. Her advances from first to second. Runners on second now. In scoring position for Huber. As a junior last season, appeared in 28 games, making 9 starts, primarily at first base. She scored 2 runs with 5 hits, 1 double, 3 RBIs, and had a perfect fielding percentage at first, making 132 putouts along with 3 assists. Goes for that bunt. Indian River State College executing that bunt defense this time. First baseman went to get it, and second base was there to cover in time. Casey Huber, the first out for the IRSC defense. Runners on 3 now. Number 16, Megan Ricks now up to bat. The sophomore from Tallahassee, Florida, appeared in 15 games last season, making 11 starts, mostly as a DP. Last season, Ricks was injured for most of the fall, actually all of the fall and most of spring. However, the last couple of weeks, she was able to make some starts, make some plays there, and get herself in the batter's box as the DP for the Eagles. It's very hard to be injured as a player. However, she waited her turn and now is getting the chance to play, making the most out of it. That ball pulled to the first base side, advancing the runner from third to home. Rick's doing her job. Whether or not she meant to do that, She still advanced the runner and scored that run for an RBI. 2 outs now for Indian River State College. Hope Hernandez now up to bat, the graduate student. Looks like Taylor Rhoden tried to get that inside corner spot again, but just missed a little bit too far inside for the umpire's liking. There we go, finally getting that spot there. 2-1. That ball popped up. Second baseman makes the catch for the 3rd out for the Indian River State College. Score is 9-0. FGCU in the lead over Indian River State College as we move into the top of the 4th inning. Emily Estroff still pitching in the circle for the Eagles. And the defense for the Eagles, pitching is Emily Estroff, catching is Lillian Wilkerson, first base Hope Hernandez. First base is Jordan Gendron, second base I can't seem to make out, but third base is Taylor Villa. Shortstop is Reedy Davenport. Looks like left field is McKenna Batterton, center field is Ashley Hayes, and right field is Kaylin Cole. Estroff getting ahead in the count here. 2 strikes now. And a strikeout for Estroff for the first out for the Eagles. Looks like there's a fielding change. Hope Hernandez now coming in to play first base. Jordan Gendron switched out. First pitch strike from Estroff. Number 14, Dominic Privette, the freshman now hitting for Indian River State College with 1-2 count with 1 out. Caught looking, another strikeout for Emily Estroff back to back. 2 outs now for the Eagles. Coming up to bat, trying to pick up her teammates, number 7, Jessie Keach, another freshman. Estroff working it back, 2-1 now, and the freshman. 2 outs here for the Eagles with nobody on base. Jessie Keach, also a pitcher, trying to work back the count and trying to get on and help herself here for Indian River State College. Try to get something started. A great pitch and a great spot there from Estroff, getting that outside corner on Jessie Keach. Huge swing and a miss there for a big out. Emily Estroff striking out all 3 batters, 1-2-3 inning for the Eagles. Score is 9-0. FGCU in the lead over Indian River State College. Sam Lesky with a huge hit, driving in 3 runs, including herself, after hitting a home run over the left field line. To start things off this inning, Kana Davis. a switch in the lineup. Kana Davis is not hitting currently. That ball hit to the first baseman and makes the throw in time for the first out for Indian River State College. Indian River State College having a little bit of trouble earlier from the bunt defense. Bunted to first base, and second base just wasn't there covering in time to get the out. Now they have learned second base has been covering every single time. The ball popped up to the shortstop for the second out for Indian River State College. First pitch strike there from Taylor Rhoden. A pitching change for Indian River State College is actually Dominique Privet, now pitching in the circle for the River. 2 foul balls there for number 48. Looks to be Kaylin Cole. 2 strikes now. Indian River State College, their mascot is quite literally the river. 3 big swings there for Kaylin Cole. 3 outs, 1-2-3 inning for Indian River State College. Moving into the top of the 5th inning, FGCU 9-0 over Indian River State College, the River. Pitching, we still have Emily Estroff. Catching, Sam Lesky. First base, Casey Huber. Second base, Hope Hernandez. Third base, Taylor Filla. Shortstop, Reedy Davenport. Left field, McKenna Batterton. Big swing and a miss there. Center field, we have Riley Oakes. And right field, we have Kaylin Cole. Right field is Kana Davis. That ball fouled off, 1-2 for the freshman. Estroff doing a great job this game, getting ahead of every single batter, getting 2 strikes early in the count against Indian River State College. Big swing and a miss there for the first out. A strikeout from Estroff. That's 4 in a row for Emily Estroff, the senior. #22, Taylor Rhoden, the former pitcher from the last inning. Rhoden calling time, disrupting Estroff's approach there at the mound. Resetting herself there. 1 ball for Rhoden. That ball is going to be a strike for 1-1. Strike 2, Estroff coming in hot. A great eye from Rhoden and a great idea from Estroff trying to get Rhoden to chase there for that third strike. Now has 2-2. That ball very close, missing that spot in the inside corner there. That spot has been called inconsistently all night. It's a hit or miss, but with 2 strikes, that was a very close miss. Full count now for the freshman, for the redshirt sophomore. The ball just missing again, draws a walk. Taylor Rhoden getting on first for the River. Number 21, Jayden Williamson, the redshirt sophomore, now up to bat with 1 out and a runner on first. Looks like a pinch runner for Taylor Rhoden on first. A big swing from Williamson. Looking for her pitch to drive one, get herself on base, and advance runners as well. Estroff getting ahead of Williamson in the count. 2 strikes now. 1 out, runner on 1. Big swing, a strikeout for Estroff. 2 down now for the FGCU Eagles. Estroff on fire tonight, getting ahead in the count, striking out batters. A check swing and a foul ball from number 3, Megan Branch, a redshirt sophomore. Has a lot of experience in the batter's box with the River. Goes to steal and is safe. That throw on time from Sam Lesky, but just wasn't in time with the tag from Hope Hernandez there at second base. Looks like the runner just got behind. Big swing from Branch, getting 2 strikes on her with 2 outs and a runner on 2. Lots of 2s here. A big swing for a strikeout for the 3rd out for the FGCU Eagles. Emily Estroff on fire, striking out batters. And that's game 2, 9-0. FGCU versus Indian River State College. How about that home run from Sam Lesky, driving in 3 runs, including herself, after slamming that ball over the left field fence. A great job from her getting her hands through that ball. Amazing hits from FGCU Eagles, really working the count and getting a hold of those pitches from Taylor Rhoden, Dominic Prevette, and from Jesse Keach. I'm Ariel Fears. Thank you so much for joining the FGCU live stream. We have a game tomorrow, which is October 23rd. Getting the information on that now. October 23rd on Saturday. It's a 1 p.m. game. Be sure to stay tuned for that, and I will be commentating that game as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the play-by-play. As always, I try to give the best camera angles and best play-by-play as possible. Have a great evening, and we'll see you in the next one.